Hello, my name is Mars, and welcome back to Scarlet Hollow. In the last episode, we explored the Scarlet Estate pretty thoroughly, I would say. So now, as it says here, we're going to head out to explore the town proper. Got an achievement for something that I did in the last episode. Okay. If you'd have known you'd wind up having to walk all the way back to town, you probably would have just asked Tabitha to leave you at the bus stop, especially with how unhappy she seemed to see you. If only you could wipe the slate between the two of you clean and bury some of the tension. Although maybe her mother's funeral isn't the best time for something like that. Then again, maybe it's the perfect time. It's really pretty out here. Finally, you made it back to town. The holler, as that guy in the bus called it, has probably seen better days. God, I love the detail in these backgrounds. There's the bookstore, you can see from the sign. Here's the general store in very fine print. Town hall. That's all, I guess, but still very detailed, very nice. It still has the feeling of an idyllic country town, but its sidewalks are cracked, and many of the storefronts are boarded up, their windows dusty with age. A chill breeze sweeps down the lane, and you shudder, suddenly feeling as if you're peering into a grave. Gretchen, come back! Quit bothering strangers! Oh my god, Gretchen is talking to me! Why, I do declare, who is this stranger, and why does she smell of peanut butter? Sorry about that. Gretchen can be very slippery when she wants to be. She loves to get loose and cause havoc. Offer Gretchen your boiled peanuts. She sounded like she wanted them. God, I kind of wanted to give the boiled peanuts to Dustin, the opossum, but it didn't say explore next to it, and I wanted to put my clothes in there. Make a little cozy home for him. I mean, if it comes with talk to animals, I'll give them to Gretchen and stop offering them to people. Want some boiled peanuts, Gretchen? Whip out the bag and hold it in front of Gretchen. Why, yes, of course, I most certainly do. Oh, that's sweet of you. But those are probably way too salty for my little Gretch. It's nice to meet you, Gretchen. I'm Diana. My, oh my, I can't remember the last time I met a newcomer who was so wonderfully polite. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Diana. I'm talking to Gretchen and Gretchen's talking to me. This is all I ever wanted. Oh my god. That's a funny way to introduce yourself. I'm Stella. Okay, so here we have two major characters, Stella and Gretchen. Meet the two reasons why I'm glad I didn't record my initial blind playthrough to this game. I love this game now, but at first I had a very negative reaction to it and almost dropped it after chapter 1. And my reasons for that were twofold. One, and I have this all written down because I don't want to miss all my thoughts here. I had issues with the tone. The juxtaposition between the horror and the humor rubbed me the wrong way, especially when it came to the ways characters reacted to the very disturbing things going on around them with like total irreverence. Personally, I need my horror game characters to react to things with appropriate horror to make me feel like I'm not going crazy, and that wasn't happening. As it turns out, though, that's not an issue with the game as a whole. It's just an issue with Stella. This woman right here is, to put it as kindly as possible, a foolhardy moron living in deep denial. And as much as I love her character writing, I'm not the biggest fan of Stella as a person. And she's really the only major character who's in focus for most of chapter 1, so that really skewed my perception of the seriousness of the game, the serious level, which gets a lot more balanced as this game progresses and more characters are introduced. Okay, and now we have reason number 2, Gretchen. Now, I do not dislike Gretchen. No, in fact, I love her. I love her more than life itself, and that's because she looks identical to my own dog, right down to the way their tongues always hang out of their mouths, and the way they look at their owners. Like, look, this is the same exact face that my dog looks at my mom with. My mom is her main person. Yes, so she looks identical to my dog. And here, I will do some editing magic now and prove it to you. I was so excited when I first saw her. I took a screenshot, I sent it to my whole family. I was squealing and laughing every time she did anything. And then Scarlet Hollow reminded me that it is a horror game and put Gretchen right in the middle of a very life-threatening situation. I thankfully avoided her dying, which can happen. But just seeing what looked so much like my own dog in danger, it made me physically ill, and I was left with a very bad taste in my mouth. And thankfully, the lovely Scar Hall community on Tumblr convinced me to give the game another shake, and it all worked out in the end. I'm just glad I didn't record that first playthrough, because I would have been beside myself on recording, very upset, and I don't think that would have been fun to watch. I'm prepared for anything that's going to happen in Chapter 1 now, so hopefully this will be fun to watch. Okay, she says, I'm Stella. Sorry for that spiel. I'll get on with the game now. It's not often I see a strange face up in the holler. Every now and then there's a new crop of coal folks, but you don't look dusty enough for that. You aren't in town for the funeral, are you? The Scarlet funeral? Yep. I just got into town today. Wow, I didn't think there would be anyone else coming. Are you staying with Tabby? How's she holding up? Upon mention of your cousin, Gretchen mutters under her breath. One of these days I'll get that Tabitha to pet me. Oh. I haven't seen her since Pearl Ann passed. Or for a while before that, now that I think about it. I'm sorry, did you say Tabby? I can't imagine Tabitha ever going by something so bubbly. She did back when I knew her better. It's been a while. I hope she's okay. I'm not going to say she's awful. I don't know how she's doing and I don't care. Yeah. I want things to be good between Stella and Tabitha, so I'm going to say that that I worry about her, kind of imply that there is something to worry about. Make her start thinking about her a little more. I don't know. Maybe that'll work. I'm worried about her too. She's always been a little rough around the edges, but I figured she'd probably be having a rough go of things. She and her mom are really close. To think she's been up in that old mansion all by herself. It'll probably be good for her now that you're staying here, even if she doesn't think so herself. Are you two friends? I was probably closer than most people have gotten to being able to call her a friend. The school here is really small, so everyone had to at least get along with everyone else. She was a grade ahead of me, but everyone knew her, especially since she's a Scarlet. We wound up bonding a bit when we were both in the school's production of Midsummer Night's Dream. I was Puck, and she was Mustard Seed. I can't really imagine Tabitha being a performer. I guess Mustard Seed is kind of a small role, comparatively. I don't know, I've never actually read A Midsummer Night's Dream. I've just read, synopses. So maybe Mustard Seed has lines, I don't know. As you might have expected, she was more than a little prickly, but I managed to soften her up a bit at the end. But then she graduated, and that was that. I haven't seen that girl or her horrible little... Oh, this is Gretchen talking. I haven't seen that girl or her horrible little cat since I was middle-aged. Oh, before it slips my mind, if you're staying up in that spooky old mansion, you must have met the Frou-Frou. How does that monster fare? Ignore Gretchen, lest Stella discover your quirk. I'm talking to Gretchen. Stella will be open to the fact that I can talk to animals. She's very, as you can tell by her Mothman shirt, she's very into the paranormal. It sounds like you have a history. You and Frou-Frou. Wait, what? Are you messing with me? You can't actually talk to my dog, right? Alas, you have discovered my dark and terrible secret. I can talk to animals, and animals can talk to me. Your dog sounds like a Southern belle when she talks. Ha! Yeah, of course you're joking. You and Stella maintain silent, awkward contact. Okay. Well, next time you see that devil, please send my regards. And do let her know that not only do I still draw breath, but that I very much still plan to outlive her. I'm gonna make sure that happens, Gretchen. I know I said I was gonna make different choices than my first playthrough, but I cannot bear to let Gretchen die. Not yet. Not yet, at least. I need to do that eventually, because I plan to play this game several times, but I can't bear to do it yet. Not while I can talk to her. Oh, if you just got into town, you must be starving. I was just on my way to the diner for a coffee, and they've got amazing biscuits. My treat. The pleasant aroma of greasy breakfast food hangs heavy in the air. In contrast with the empty, lifeless atmosphere of the family estate, the diner is filled with the comforting din of human life. All of which grinds to a sudden halt as the patrons realize that a stranger has entered the establishment. We're not going to be super friendly. Quietly slide into a booth. Pretending that you didn't notice everyone in the diner gawking at you like they'd just seen Bigfoot. No need to be so shy. They don't meet many strangers. It's kind of a big deal when someone new wanders into town. Especially since, well, they probably all know what you're here for, and by extension who you're related to. Even if you don't know anybody, it's not easy keeping secrets in a town this size. Hey, Stella, I went ahead and fixed you up a coffee. Okay, so this takes place in North Carolina. Not everyone would realistically have a Southern accent, but I can't do it for everybody. Avery feels like they need it, though. They gracefully place a cup of specially brewed coffee in front of Stella. Aw, shucks. Thanks, Avery. And here's some bacon for the little lady. For me? For me? Gretchen sniffs the bacon and digs in. Tip, you can hit the H button on your keyboard to hide the text box at any time. Will do. What a beautiful little piece of tutorialization right there. I love it. Look at her. I love her. Stella might hate me now because I pretended to talk to her dog. I don't know. Okay, we all saw that. It was wonderful. Anything for you? Isn't bacon bad for dogs? You deny me my pleasures? What is and isn't good for a lady's health is none of your business. Gretchen's like one of those 110-year-old ladies who's had a daily glass of wine her whole life. So why stop now? Maybe it's been the secret to her longevity. Anyways, don't worry, I always keep an eye on her diet. And we make sure to only give her the leaner cuts. I gotta go in a sec. Want anything while I'm still here? I could offer Avery my boiled peanuts. I told Tabitha that I didn't have money to spend on anything, so I ended up not buying anything. I didn't say anything like that to Tabitha this time, so I'm going to splurge and order a biscuit and a coffee. Could I have a biscuit and coffee, please? I heard they were really good. Best in the county. Avery pours the fragrant brew into the empty mug in front of you. They linger after pouring the coffee, turning to you nervously. Oh, and I'm sorry for your loss. Before you have the chance to respond, they're gone. Glad you took my advice with the biscuit. You won't regret it. Anyway, the funeral's not till Sunday, right? That gives you quite a bit of time to slum around town. I'm trying to think if there are any cool events going on this week. There's always the reading adventure at the library, which is supposed to be for little kids, but I do it every month anyway. Oh, and I'm pretty sure Avery's throwing a party Saturday night, so that's a fun thing to look forward to. Ooh. Probably a hint at a later chapter then. Chapter 6, maybe? I don't know. And there's the weekly Sunday potluck. That should be right after the funeral, too, so it'll be a special occasion. I'm sorry, did you say reading adventure? Ha, yeah. Oscar's all about keeping things on theme, so this month it's a bunch of ghost stories. I think he's calling it spooky bookies. You know, like how a ghost would say it. Oh god, that's perfect. Cool, we should check it out this week. But that's really just an afternoon. Any idea what you want to do for the rest of the week? How's the general selection at the library? Because we were really interested to see if the mansion had a library, and we're probably very disappointed to find out we couldn't go in. How's the selection at the library outside of the reading adventure stuff? It's great. I spend a lot of time there myself. In fact, I was working in the library most of the morning. I ran into you just as I was leaving. Oscar does a great job stocking the place. Once he gets to know you, he'll compile these big lists of books he thinks you'd like, and he's always right. He might as well label the sections by town person. For me, it's a bunch of books on cryptids and weird supernatural stuff. He managed to track down some really rare sources. Before Stella can finish, Avery returns, biscuit in tow. Is there nothing else coming from me? Gosh, if I had known that plate of bacon would be my main and only course, I would have waited before digging in. Here's your biscuit. Winnie says it's on the house. She sends her condolences. You didn't have to do that. It looks great. No worries. Hope you enjoy it. Alright, before they leave, I just want to say, it's a testament to how fascinated and intrigued and interested in this game I am, that I have the kind of ambitious thought in my head that for the channel I'm actually going to do 2 playthroughs. And I already said that I know who I'm going to romance in this one, but next time I want to romance Avery. Like, they're just perfect, you know? They're like, they look the most in this game like a character who would be in like a non-scary dating sim, you know? They look like if you asked God himself to make a hot person to put in my video game, you know? And I think they're just very charming and cool. And as you can tell by their shirt, they like plants, and I think that's a very cute character trait. So, keep that in mind for the future. Maybe I'll be romancing Avery later. You pick up the biscuit. It's delicate and fluffy. It nearly crumbles at your touch. Buttery warmth emanates from its surface. You take a bite. It melts in your mouth as if it was nothing but butter suspended in a thin matrix of dough. Truly, this is a perfect biscuit. Whoa. This is a really good biscuit. Wow. I'm so glad you like it. Avery lingers at the table for a moment. So, has Stella mentioned she's famous? Oh, Avery, I'm not famous. Look, if you're not going to go around tooting your own horn, you know I'm going to do it for you. Stella sighs. I'm a YouTuber. They knew what they were doing. The devs knew what they were doing. They knew people would be streaming this shit, so they put this in here right for reaction. I have been a YouTuber for less than a year, and I'm extremely small, so I have no point of reference for what she's saying. So I'll just say, wow, that's rad. I've never met a YouTuber before. I'd love to check out your channel at some point. Aw, thanks. It's nothing much. It pays the bills, but it's mostly a passion project, you know? She's selling herself short, Diana. Her stuff is amazing. She hunts cryptids. I won't cry. Let it go. You choose to ignore Avery mentioning your name before you've been introduced. It's a small town. Word probably gets around. I think the best video to start with would be that river one. Not the lake, but you know, the controversial one. Oh yeah, the Catawba River Runner. I didn't expect much out of that footage at the time, but it wound up being my most popular video by far. So the River Runner is a cryptid that's only known from a single sighting. 2 Boy Scouts thought they saw something big and weird in the Catawba River, and that's all I had to go on. But then I wound up catching this on camera. Stella pulls out her phone and shows you a clip of something in the river. Can we see what the title of her channel is? Hidden Appalachia. Cool. Haunted ice cream parlor. Scared in the woods. Lo-fi beats she'll study. And it's a raccoon instead of an anime girl. Okay. The size and shape of the creature's body tells you it's likely a predator, and it's definitely not a wolf. You seem to recall that mountain lions used to live up here. Who's to say if there aren't a few left? Some folks said it was a beaver, but if that was the case, it'd be at least twice the size of any beaver I've ever seen. I also had people saying it was a dog, or even a capybara that must have escaped from a local wildlife sanctuary. It was a mountain lion. I could smell its stink from miles away. I'm still not sure what it was, and I'm the one who saw the thing with my own 2 eyes. I won't lean into... Maybe it's a mountain lion. I won't lean into talk to animals here, because Stella does not believe me. I thought she would, but... I mean, we have the option to say it's a mountain lion from Talk to Animals or Booksmart. I mean, let's throw Gretchen a bone, metaphorically, and at least know that we got the information from her. It's a mountain lion. You decide to take Gretchen's word for it. I think that's a mountain lion. You can kind of make out its little kitty cat ears. No way. It is absolutely not a mountain lion. There are no mountain lions this far east. I did a whole video on the Appalachian mountain lion myth and found jack squat, and there's no reason one would be swimming in the river like this. They're not fans of water. And it's too short to be a mountain lion. No way. Personally, I'm a fan of the capybara theory. Sure, it's not like any local sanctuaries are missing one, but there's always people keeping exotic animals as pets. Kind of a sewer gator type situation? Ha, exactly. Some exotic pet owner set it free, and now it will forever roam the Catawba, confusing Boy Scouts and YouTube commenters for years to come. So, speaking of things to do around town, I was actually planning on filming this week's video tonight. I was wondering if maybe you'd want to come along. Hold on, I gotta take a cue from Stella and take a sip of my tea. Okay, all good. It's a pretty easy one this week. You wouldn't even have to camp anywhere. I'm gonna go after the... Wait, no spoilers. Whoops, sorry Avery. It's okay, I should probably get back to it instead of standing around chatting with friends. See y'all around. Now that the coast is clear, I'm going after Skunk Ape. God, I think one of the kids in the the Monster Hunter Club in Shadows Over Loathing was going after the Skunk Ape too. Ew, stinky. Uh-oh, stinky. Doesn't Skunk Ape live in Florida? Oh, you know your stuff, don't you? I knew you'd make a great partner. It mostly lives in Florida, but there have been sightings as far north as Virginia. While I was doing research for last week's video, I came across a report where a lady from the town over claimed to have seen one on her deck, playing tug-of-war with her dog. And as I leave no stone unturned, I decided it was worth investigating. So what do you say, want to tag along? Hold the camera for me, while I narrate against the darkening sky, that sort of thing? I'm gonna ask, are you gonna be there, Gretchen? And the answer is unfortunately gonna be yes. Because this woman is an idiot who believes in dangerous mythical animals, but also thinks it's safe enough to bring her elderly dog with her. Like, without even a thought in her head that maybe this isn't safe for my dog. I don't know. That's the thing that rubs me the wrong way the most about Stella. Are you gonna be there, Gretchen? That depends. Oh, naturally. I wouldn't want any misfortune to befall my beloved Stella. I must stay by her side through thick and thin, however odd her passions may be. Of course. It's actually been a while since I've had anyone but Gretchen out there with me. Say no more. I'm in, unfortunately. This is going to be a lot of fun. I actually started the channel with a couple buddies of mine back in middle school, so it'll kind of be like a blast from the past. Me and Kanika and Reese running around in the woods, flipping over rocks and bothering salamanders. Our videos were terrible, but we had a lot of fun, and that's all that mattered to us. You know, that gets me thinking. I wonder if they'd be down to come along with us, get the old gang back together. Though I guess Kanika has to close out the general store tonight, so I'm pretty sure she's a no-go. But Reese, I think there's a decent chance we could get him to come out of his hidey hole, if he's up for it. I think that if Reese could possibly come along, things would play out way differently. No one would have to die. Do you mind if I make a quick call? Stella pulls out her phone and dials it, waiting while it rings. Reese, dude, what's up? Feels like it's been forever. Aw, man, I'm sorry to hear that. Do you want me to come by, or... Okay, if you're really sure, but if you change your mind. Oh, I was just asking if you wanted to come out to the woods tonight. I met somebody cool in town today. She's Tabitha's cousin. I know, yeah. Just here for the week. Anyway, we're going out to look for skunk ape. We could take the easier trails, if that would help. Dang, man. That sounds awful. I hope you take it easy tonight. I'll swing by sometime this week, and we can have a more low-key hang. How's that? Huh, yeah, I'll bring her. Talk to you soon. Bye, bud. Reese, there's always been something off about that boy. I never did like the smell of him. Looks like it's just you and me, pal. Did he ask you to bring me to his house? I am down for that. If you have not guessed, people who have played this game before, Reese is the character I want in romance. Did he ask you to bring me to his house? Why? He's excited to meet you, of course. I think you'll find most folks in town are. Is he okay? He is not feeling well, that's all. He's had a lot going on in the past, 10 years or so, but I feel like it's gotten a lot worse recently. I can't remember the last time I saw him leave his house. Oh well, it's not my place to talk about, really. I just got a little excited about having him along again. He's hilarious, you'd love him. We should swing by his place sometime this week. That'd be nice. I'd love to meet your friends. Awesome, I'll make it happen. He's definitely the trickier one to meet. Kanika is much easier to track down since she's at the general store basically every day. But friendship can wait. We've got a skunk ape to hunt. So, we should probably head out if we want to make it up the mountain before it's too dark. Come on, let's blow this popsicle stand. You pause before getting up. Maybe it's time to make a good first impression. Don't leave a tip you didn't even spend any money. Leave a tip. Leave a tip. You reach into your pockets and pull out a single crumpled dollar bill and a quarter. As long as you don't get sick of peanut butter and jelly, your meals will be free while you're here. Share the wealth while you've got it, you think to yourself. So I was thinking, like, I was trying to roleplay a little bit. My character seems very reserved and not as empathetic as my last one. So I feel like she wouldn't necessarily leave a generous tip. You leave the money on the table and follow Stella out of the diner. If this were me in real life, I would leave 20% of nothing, I guess. But I would leave like $3. That seems better. I don't know. Okay. It hadn't been very cold when you first arrived in town, but as the sun dips closer and closer to the horizon, a chill descends upon the hollow, and you see your situation with renewed clarity. You're in a new place, far from civilization and the people you know, following someone you just met into a dark forest in search of monsters. You feel tense, on edge. Something terrible could happen at any moment. Every snapping twig and rustling leaf makes your heart beat faster and your eyes go wider. Stella, by comparison, is jaunty. You wish you had her confidence. Okay, we're going into the woods proper now. And I don't know how long this will take. Should I keep going? Should I make this one episode? I don't know. I'll keep going, and if the next part, if the rest of the chapter goes on too long, I'll split it in two. I don't wanna bury the spooky lead too much. Gotta love this brisk fall weather. This past summer was the hottest on record, since last year at least. You know how it is these days. Each summer is the hottest yet until the next summer, which always finds a way to be so much worse. It's just nice to feel a chill in the air, see the leaves change, like normalcy is restored, if only for a moment. Sorry if that was a bit of a bummer. We should talk about something more fun, like skunk apes. Are you really expecting to find anything? What are the chances we actually run into a skunk ape in just one night of filming? That's fair. We are hunting a creature that stayed hidden from humans long enough to gain a mythic reputation. What are the odds of something like that popping out to star on my little YouTube channel? But hey, the chances are never zero, right? Do you ever hunt things that aren't cryptids, like ghosts and whatnot? Ghosts, demons, werewolves, that sort of thing? Oh, I really love Gretchen's little animations here, or sprites. I guess they're not animations. I remembered this is the point in my playthrough when I started getting really filled with dread, watching her. Yeah, for sure. I used to go after all sorts of spooky stuff. I never had much luck though, especially when it came to ghosts. Back when I first started doing solo videos, I'd go into all sorts of old abandoned buildings, hoping I'd stumble across some sort of activity. But nothing ever happened. It always just me and my camera in an old house getting worked up over a gust of wind or a creaky floorboard. When all's said and done, I've just been a lot luckier with cryptids. I want to believe in ghosts so bad, and I can't rule out the possibility that there really are true hauntings out there, but if there are, I sure as heck haven't seen any myself. Werewolves I kinda lump in with cryptids. I'd be shocked if there were actually people out there who turned into animals, but werewolf lore lines up pretty well with the great beast genre of cryptid. As for demons, I don't know. I honestly don't want to consider the possibility that they exist, because if they really are out there, geez, a lot of folks are doomed to an eternity of flames. So let's hope all of that's just bunk, am I right? Yeah, you can make your character really into aliens, but you know what? I think that my character is kind of a skeptic at this point. And actually, no, that doesn't make sense. She can talk to animals. What about aliens? Don't even get me started. Did you see those UFO videos the government declassified? Aliens are definitely real, and they have absolutely visited Earth. Like, I believe in aliens way more than I believe in cryptids. I adore my darling Stella, but she gets the strangest ideas in her head these days. Ever since her parents went away, she's been more and more foolhardy with all this critter nonsense. Foolhardy, that's the word I use to describe her. You don't see me hunting aliens out here because we know they're real. Aliens exist, but I'm not sure they've come to Earth. The chance that anything beyond a single-celled organism exists anywhere close enough to realistically travel to Earth, combined with the even smaller chance of those life forms existing at the same time of us, combined with the even smaller chance that those organisms have invented and perfected space travel to the extent that they can casually visit other worlds, Those chances are low, let me just say that much. Low, but not zero. Anyway, agree to disagree, but I've heard some neat stories. I know somebody who knows somebody who heard a story from this trucker up in Fayetteville. His truck stopped in the middle of the road, just shut down completely, even though he had a tank full of gas. And suddenly it looked like daylight outside. He could see cows out in the fields, birds in the sky. Then this metallic, egg thing appeared, floating in front of his truck. He passed out, and when he woke up, he was missing one of his pinkies. It was like it had never even been there. It was just smooth skin where a pinky should be. I know it's a second-hand source, but there's plenty more like that, and if they are true... Alright, maybe I could come around on this. That's pretty interesting. If there's more proof. Oh, do I ever have more proof? Once we're back in civilization, I have a stockpile of videos and interviews that'll blow your mind. What's the weirdest thing you've seen out here, other than cryptids? Oh gosh, that's a good one. Let me think. Well, there's always the deer I saw stealing baby birds out of a nest and eating them. That was pretty messed up. But I think most people know about that these days. I've seen tons of videos of other deer doing it, so I'm not sure if it counts as weird anymore. Oh! Tetanus Lake! That's definitely the weirdest. It's a 5-foot deep, 30-foot wide pile of old cans and bottles and assorted garbage with grass and trees growing on it so you could barely tell it was there until you stepped on it. It was practically solid ground with how much it had been compressed, but you could still fall through if you weren't careful, hence the name. Better be up on your shots if you want to mess around in there. It's all stuff from the 50s too, which is super neat. I salvaged a few bottles that I keep on my dresser as a little souvenir. Has anything better happened on these hikes? You know, just curious. Let me think. Okay, I need another sip. Yummy tea. There was that time back in early high school when Reese fell down a cliff. But he was fine. We had some folks from town rig up a pulley to get him out of the ravine, and his leg only took a couple of months to heal. All in all, not too bad. Though I guess there was also that time I was out here alone and kinda got stuck in a cave. I was getting great footage of what I thought was a family of wampus cats, but I wasn't able to wiggle my way back out. Turns out that the wampus cats were actually skunks, who very much did not appreciate me blocking the entrance to their hidey hole. And instead of running for help, Gretchen just sat outside, bored to tears. Lassie she is not. As if I made sure to give those nasty little skunks a piece of my mind, that's what I did. And if I kept Stella company, just as she would for me, if I decided to hide in a hole for hours. It took about an hour to get loose, which was pretty intense. But a few tomato juice baths later, I was right as rain. So it could have been a lot worse. Oh, and there was a time I accidentally stumbled onto old Duke's property and nearly got my head shot off. But that happens to everybody sooner or later. I'd barely count it. So yeah, these hikes aren't all that dangerous, all things considered. Did you hear that? Oh, calm down, Gretchen, you old mutt. Oh, Duke, you rascal. Oh. Gretchen and Duke like each other. That makes it even worse. Same to you, Stella. You're always jumping at nothing, girl. Ugh. Sorry for getting spooked, Duke. I thought you were some creature of darkness. Nah, girlie, just old Duke. Now what the hell are you looking for way out here? Okay. Sidebar for a second. You know what I was saying in the last episode about this game being very well researched in terms of North Carolina culture and everything? So I lived in North Carolina for 2 years in middle school, you remember. And when Duke stepped on screen for the first time, I got the most vivid sense memory. So North Carolina has several major universities with major sports teams. And like any state that has that many college sports teams, people get real weird about sports, college sports, especially college basketball. There would be, in middle school, they would announce the standing of UNC like, on the morning announcements to middle schoolers. Why would middle schoolers care about that? But, yeah. I never cared much about sports. I was only tangentially aware of anything going on. But when Duke stepped on screen, I was like, I looked at his hat and I was like, holy shit, that's the Blue Devil. That is the mascot of Duke University. I have seen that so many times. And so clearly Duke is a nickname because this man is way too into college basketball. My personal opinion on the matter is that those young men are in school. They should be studying, not playing games with their little basketballs. But okay, that aside, that was just a very funny moment for me in the first game. Now what the hell are you looking for way out here? Skunk Ape. Sorry I asked. And who's this you suckered into coming with you? Wait a tick, you aren't. Is that? Yep. I see. Welcome to the holler. My condolences. I'll keep you in my prayers. Another stranger, another opportunity for a salty introduction. No! It's just funny to get the offer to offer them to people. I mean, he's real Southern, so he might appreciate them, but I'm gonna keep them to myself. Oh, that's what it meant by salty introduction. Okay. You once again remember the dripping bag of boiled peanuts you have on your person and briefly consider offering them to Duke before realizing that it would probably be more of an insult than anything else and keep them hidden away. Now both of y'all head back on to town, you hear? It's best you steer well clear of this area tonight. I'm out dealing with my own critter and won't be too appreciative if a couple of fools with a camera scare away the more sensitive wildlife. What are you hunting tonight? Something tall and hairy? Something musky? You see anything like that recently? Wouldn't you like to know? You never could stay in your business, Stella Richmond. Put that damn camera down. Ah, oh, come on, Duke. Maybe I can help out. I'm pretty good at tracking. You know I learned from the best. That you did, but I have yet to see a shred of proof that you listened to any of it. The way you trump around the woods at night yelling about chunkabungas or what have you. Something's been getting at my chickens. I've lost 3 this week and can't afford to lose many more than that. I'm so sorry to hear that. But, I wonder if Skunk Ape has a taste for chicken. Now see, this is why I don't come to you about these things. It ain't no Skunk Ape, whatever the hell that is. I know exactly what this is, but I know you won't believe me if I tell you. Oh, Duke, you don't think it's... I do, actually. It's those damn mountain lions. They're out there, Stella. I don't care what your little investigation turned up. You haven't been out in these woods as long as I have. Those sons of bitches are sneaky. Of course you wouldn't find any on one night of tracking. And I know for a fact that's what's been getting at my chickens. It couldn't be anything else. I'm telling you, man, mountain lions are extinct in these parts. There hasn't been an actual sighting since the 1990s, and even those were iffy. It's true. There are mountain lions out here, sure as sin. They pee in all the best trees. So Stella's just wrong about this. I can't believe you go out there on your YouTubes saying some river monster spotted by a couple of school-aged Boy Scouts has been 100% confirmed, yet Appalachian cougars are some kind of far-fetched fantasy made up by users like me. Duke is right. This whole thing with the mountain lions, that's the other reason I don't like Stella. She's so tunnel-brained, and she doesn't believe something totally plausible. Why? You made me look like a fool. I read those comments people were posting on your video. They were calling me all kinds of names just for saying things with my own eyes that I know to be true. I'm sorry, Duke. I didn't mean to sick anybody on you. I just don't think it's plausible. Yeah, that... She put Duke in her video just to humiliate him. I don't think that's nice. No. I know it's easy to make fun of old southern farmers, but I don't think you deserve that. Okay. You'll eat those words when I come carrying a mountain lion corpse out of these woods at dawn. And if you two don't want a face full of buckshot, I suggest you run home and stay out of the woods tonight. Right on, Duke. Kill that mountain lion. I mean, I want to acknowledge that the mountain lion is real, but I don't know if I want to say, like, kill it. Hell yeah, right on, Duke. You gotta protect your property. An eye for an eye, a life for a life. I say we let him have his night in the woods, Stella. See, she gets it. Now go on home. But I gotta film tonight. The video needs to be out by tomorrow evening so I can keep on schedule. If I miss an update, I might lose my new sponsor, and who knows what that'll mean for my career. I didn't really mean that though. I don't like hunting. I understand why a farmer's got to do it to protect his animals, but I'm not a fan of hunting, and I would not say that in real life. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I just wanted to throw Duke a bone because I know that things aren't gonna end well for him. You aren't the only one on the schedule. As you well know, my boy Bo and me are headed down to the state fair to show off Big Betty. Bo. That's Duke's son. Another sidebar. Little secret. I think he should be romanceable. He's very cute. He doesn't show up until chapter 4, and I think that's a little late to introduce a romance option, but he's very handsome. I like him very much. Okay, Big Betty. We'll be gone near a whole week, so our chicken coop might as well have a big all-you-can-eat sign on it. You know how I feel about my chickens. I couldn't take it if I lost any more of my poor little ladies. Let's just go, Stella. He's not gonna budge. You're right. No point in losing any more time arguing. Fine, we'll head back to town. Break a leg out there, Duke. Break a what now? I mean, good luck, old man. Alright, have a nice night, y'all. As you and Stella return to the trail, she carefully looks back the way you came. Okay, the coast is clear. There's no way we're letting Duke edge us out that easy. Come on, I know a trail that'll let us get around him. Are you sure you don't want to, like, watch a movie instead? Wouldn't you rather go home and hang out, maybe watch a movie? I'm a lot less comfortable going out into the woods now that I know I'll be sharing them with a guy who'll shoot anything that moves. While I understand your fears, Diana, this is an opportunity for a once-in-a-lifetime adventure. Seize it while you can. Oh, you don't have to worry about old Duke. I've been out tracking with him before. The man sounds like a truck crashing through the trees when he walks. Even if we do cross paths, we'll hear him long before he catches wind of us. We can always do a movie night later, but right now my viewers come first. They demand cryptids, and I am duty-bound to give them what they so crave. There's no shaking you, is there? You'll just follow me until I finally relent and go monster hunting with you. I promise it'll be fun and safe. The trail's just up this way. Let's go. Alright, this looks like a good shot. Mind holding the camera? She hands you the camera and takes position. Ahem. As night falls, my new assistant, the mysterious Diana, and I find ourselves on a high hill in the Blue Ridge Mountains, where we'll begin our hunt for the elusive yet pungent skunk ape. Though mostly encountered in Florida, this possible relative of Bigfoot has been spotted all along the southeastern edge of the United States, including right in this very county. Here's hoping we get a glimpse tonight. We'll check back once we're on the trail. Until then, stay searching, Stellars. And keep digging, Gretches. Oh. I can take that camera off your hands for now. We'll be able to start the tracking scenes once the sun sets all the way. In the meantime, we get to take in all this gorgeous scenery. I'm a little distracted from not wanting to be out here anymore. Quietly look into Stella's eyes so I can already do the dang romance arc with her? Okay. I'm loving the biodiversity up here. I'm so used to only seeing pigeons and rats. I can't wait to whip out my copy of Guide to the Birds and Wildlife of Western North Carolina and go to town in some identifications. Oh, so you're a bit of a bird watcher. I hear bird watchers go wild for cardinals, and they're our state bird, so you're in for a good week. You'll get an eyeful of all the angry little red birds your heart could desire. Your quiet moment with Stella is broken by a loud, percussive snort. Was that a deer? I've seen videos of them making that spooky little warning snort, but I've never seen it in person. Sure was. Let's check it out. Oh boy, the flashlight graphics come up. As you and Stella hear the footfalls of animals retreating into the woods, she reaches for her flashlight. Oh boy. Yep, it's starting. The single deer remains behind, staring down the beam of light while Gretchen whines and pulls at her harness. Pain, rot, decay. A deer? Let me at him. How dare he infringe upon my dearest Stella's personal space? Let me at him! And then it's gone. Oh boy. Okay. My heart started pounding immediately. Once the deer got there, but even once this graphic with Stella with the flashlight came up, because that's the sign that things are about to get bad.